Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we will start a new section, that is the fungi. And first of all, we will discuss about the main characteristics or general characteristics of the fungi. The word fungi is derived from the Latin word that fungor, which means to flourish. And the word was primarily used with the reference to the mushrooms, which was developed overnight. And the Greek word myces is the term mycology was derived for the study of the fungi. And if we have defined to fungi, then it is defined as they are the eukaryotic achlorophyllous organism consisting of the filamentous, septate or aseptate somatic structures called the hyphae that form the woolly mass, the mycelium in most of the cases. Hyphae are surrounded by the cell walls formed of the chitin or the cellulose or both. They reproduce sexually and asexually by the formation of the spores. अच्छा, अब हम इसकी अगर occurrence देखें तो fungi are the ubiquitous. It means they are present everywhere on the earth. Fungi grow in a wide variety of habitats such as water, soil, dead and decaying organic matter on other living organisms. They also cause serious diseases. Since the fungi are unable to manufacture their own food, therefore they live as the saprobes on the non-living organism matter as parasites, and it also affect the plants and the animals. It includes also the human beings, causing the diseases. The fungi require a sufficient amount of organic food to survive. Therefore, they digest the organic food outside their bodies by secreting the enzymes that are called extracellular enzymes and making the organic matter soluble so that it may be absorbed into their cells easily. As we have seen its plant body, the vegetative phase of fungus is a thallus. There is no differentiation into the stem, root or leaves, and the vascular tissues is absent, such as plant body is called as the thallus. Unicellular thallus भी नजर आती है. For example, yeast, filamentous thallus भी नजर आती है इसके अंदर कि fungi जो है वो have multi cellular plant body और उसमें जो है thread like structure present होते हैं, which are called hyphae, and they form a loosely woven mass that is called as the mycelium. After that, when we have seen the definition of the hyphae, a hyphae is made up of thin transparent tubular well-defined ball filled or lined with a layer of the protoplasm. It may be septate or aseptate. In simpler fungi, the hyphae are aseptate without cross walls and phenocytic, while in many nuclei are embedded in the cytoplasm. However, the septa are formed at the base of the reproductive organs in simpler fungi. In more complex groups, the hyphae are septate, divided into the cells or the compartments by cross walls called as the septa. Then mycelium को अगर हम देखेंगे हम इसको कैसे define करेंगे? The mass of the hyphae that constitutes the vegetative body of a fungus is called as the mycelium. If the mycelium penetrates the host tissue, it is said to be intracellular mycelium, and it confines itself to the intercellular spaces. It is termed as the intercellular mycelium. Cell structure अगर हम देखें तो सबसे पहले इसमें जो है वो हमें सेल वॉल नजर आती है. As you can see in this diagram, इसमें एक सिंगल स्ट्रक्चर भी आपको दिखाया हुआ है, इसमें फिलामेंट भी नजर आ रहा है, इसमें सेप्टा भी नजर आ रही हैं इस डायग्राम के अंदर, नॉन सेप्टेट भी नजर आ रहे हैं. तो एक तो सेल वॉल प्रेजेंट होती है इसके अंदर, दैट इज फंगस सेल वॉल इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द प्लांट सेल वॉल एज इट्स मेड अप ऑफ द काइटिन. देन उसके बाद प्रोटोप्लास्ट अगर हम देखें तो उसमें प्लाज्मा प्रेजेंट होता है. इनर टू द सेल वॉल इज द प्लाज्मा विच इज अ unit membrane composed of the protein layer separated by a lipid layer. Vacuole अगर हम देखें इसमें तो साइटोप्लाज्म जो होता है यंग हाइफी का दैट लैक्स वैक्यूल. लार्ज सेंट्रल वैक्यूल जो है वो हमें नजर आता है बाय टोनोप्लास्ट इन some of the fungi. Otherwise there are very small vacuoles are present. Endoplasmic reticulum, a well developed network formed of endoplasmic reticulum is present throughout the cytoplasm. It may be coated with the ribosome or without these. Mitochondria are found abundantly in the hyphae. These are enveloped by the double membrane. The outer membrane is being continuous with the endoplasmic reticulum. And then Golgi bodies have been reported, but they are very rare. Cytoplasmic microtubules are found in them. Then ribosomes occur freely in the cytoplasm. Nucleus, well organized nucleus. It consists of nuclear envelope, a nucleolus and chromatin strands. Then fungal tissues अगर हम देखें during certain stages of the life history of the most fungi, the mycelium becomes organized into the loosely or the compactly woven tissues. These are called fungal tissues or the placenkyma. So the fungal tissues are of two types, prosenchyma and pseudoparenchyma. Prosenchyma is a loosely woven tissue in which hyphae lie more or less parallel to one another, and the elongated cells can be distinguished from one another. Pseudoparenchyma consists of the closely packed, more or less isodiametric or oval cells resembling the parenchyma cells of the vascular plants. The hyphae lose their individuality and are not distinguishable. Then fungal tissue are also produce various types of the somatic and the reproductive structures in most of the fungi, such as stroma. It is a compact somatic structure, much like a cushion on which the fungal fruiting bodies are usually found. Second one is the sclerotium. It is a hard resting body resistant to the unfavorable conditions, which may remain dormant during the unfavorable period and germinate on return of the favorable conditions. And then we can see in this diagram that is the pseudoparenchyma and stroma and rhizomorph and rhizome. Then if we have seen modification of the vegetative plant body, so in that modifications we can see that first one is the rhizomorph. Rhizomorph means rhizome means root. So members of the Basidiomycotena and some other groups which invade the roots of the plants or destroy the wood, the hyphae aggregate to form the thick longitudinal strands called the rhizomorph, and each rhizomorph has a thick hard cortex and a growing tip resembling that of the root tip. The rhizomorphs are resistant to adverse conditions and resume growth on the return of the favorable condition. Aprisoria is the second modification. These are the simple or the lobe swollen structures that arise either from the germ tube or impacting the hyphae. These are found in disease-causing fungi, the members of the Aridanelles, then Hysteria. These are known as the knob-like elongations or the branches outgrowth of the somatic hyphae. They are regarded as the specialized absorbing organs, and they are found in the parasitic fungi such as the albugo and Puccinia. Then if we have seen towards the modes of nutrition which are found in the fungi, so because they are achlorophyllous and they can't photosynthesize and they can't manufacture their own food, they exhibit saprotrophic, parasitic or symbiotic modes of nutrition mostly. However, some fungi attack and trap animals to get their nutrition. Saprotrophs अगर हम देखें तो these are the fungi that live on the dead organic matter. They are found on the rotten fruits, vegetable, moist wood and leaves, leather, jam, jellies, pickles, cheese, horse and cattle dung. Some of these are incapable of infecting the living organisms to cause diseases and are called obligate saprophytes, rhizopus, whereas the others are capable of causing the disease and termed as facultative saprophytes. As the example, epithium. The saprotrophic fungal absorb food from the substratum by sending ordinary hyphae or by development of the rhizoids into the substratum. So the common example are mucor, rhizopus, penicillium and agaricus. And then if we have seen towards the parasites, these fungi live on a variety of the living organisms called the hosts. The parasitic fungi absorb food materials from the living tissues of the host. These fungi are usually harmful and cause many serious diseases in the host. The most common parasitic fungi include rust, smut and mildews. Then it is further divided into two types, ectoparasite and endoparasite. The mycelium which remain outside the host and absorb food by sending Hysteria into the body of the host. For example, erisipine, erispe, and the endoparasite mycelium is present inside the host. Then they are also found in the symbiotic relationship in which one is glycan, that is the association of algae and fungi, and the second one is the mycorrhiza, that is the association of the fungi and the roots of the higher plants. Then predaceous fungi, these are many fungi that trap small animals such as the rotifers or protozoans. Such fungi are termed as the predaceous fungi. These fungi develop many animal trapping devices capturing the animals. The examples are the Arthrobatrachus, Dactylia and the Dactylaria. So that's it, जिसमें हमने अभी देखा है कि मेन क्या characteristics होते हैं fungi के. Then further we have to discuss about the economic importance of the fungi. The topic we have started, that was the fungi, and the next thing that we have to discuss about, that is the economic importance of the fungi. तो इकोनॉमिक इम्पोर्टेंस हम दोनों चीजें डिस्कस करते हैं, उसके बेनिफिशियल रोल्स भी हैं फंजाई के और उसके हार्मफुल इफेक्ट्स भी हैं. तो बेनिफिशियल रोल्स में हम पहले जो चीज डिस्कस करेंगे दैट इज द फंजाई एज अ डीकम्पोजिंग एजेंट. फंजाई along with the bacteria are responsible for disintegration of the organic matter, causing the decay of the dead plants and animals, resulting in formation of the humus and nutrient recycling. Important nutritional elements such as nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, iron, calcium, etc. They are released which are utilized by the plants. Carbon dioxide is also liberated to the atmosphere during the decomposition, which is used by the green plants. Then if we have seen towards the industrial use of the fungi play an important role in various industrial processes such as the yeast are the basis of baking and brewing industries. Then the fungal species are used in manufacture of certain type of the cheese. And other industrial use of the fungi is in the manufacture of the citric acid, that is Aspergillus niger, the basis of enormous soft drinks industries. Similarly, fumaric acid and lactic acids are obtained from the fungal species Rhizopus stolonifer. Then fungi are also being used as a source of antibiotics. A very important and vital role of fungi is its usage in production of the antibiotics, notably penicillin and glycoflavin, in manufacture of vitamins such as the riboflavin, and of the various important drugs such as the ergotamine and cortisone. Then fungi are also used as the foods because they are the rich source of the proteins and the vitamins and are widely used as food for the excellent flavor and the food values. Some mushrooms are deadly poisonous and are called as the toadstools. Therefore, one should be careful in selecting the mushrooms and should be always rely on the farm products as there are no method for distinguishing edible and the poisonous mushrooms in cases of the naturally growing mushrooms. The protein contents of the yeast are estimated to be more than 40%. Therefore, they are largely used as the food. Saccharomyces cerevisiae is universally used for the product of the yeast cake. Then they are also the source of enzymes, hormones and vitamins. Many fungal species are a good source of enzymes like amylase, invertase, pectinase. Therefore, these species are used for commercial production of enzymes. Similarly, fungi are an important source of hormones. For example, Gibberella fugicula is a source of gibberellin, a group of plant hormones. Similarly, mucus species is a source of trisporic acid. Saccharomyces cerevisiae and other yeast are good source of vitamin B complex, and riboflavin, also a good esterol which contain vitamin D, is produced by the yeast and mold species. Fungi are also used as a research tool. Psychologists, genetics and biochemists have found fungi an important research tool in the study of the fundamental biological processes. The fungi show a fast rate of growth and a large number of the generations can be grown in a limited time period. Further, because the spores are produced as a result of the meiosis and these germinate to produce the haploid generation, are direct and rapid analysis of tetrads can be made. Also, the fungus can be grown in the test tubes, required a little space, less care and less expensive equipment. Therefore, these are the best choice of as the research tools. Then the red bread mold Neospora has proved as an ideal organism for study of the laws of heredity, genetic control of enzyme, and help in laying the foundations of a new branch of the science which is known as the haploid genetics. The slime molds also have been widely used in the research. Fungi as the symbiont. Fungi exhibit a very good symbiotic relations with the green plants. उसमें एक जो है वो lichens हैं और दूसरे जो है वो mycorrhiza हैं. Details of which can be are discussed earlier. Fungi as an insecticide. Many fungi attack a number of the insects that are harmful to the crops. Most of the insect attacking fungi belong to the order Phycomycetes or Deuteromyces. Brunnia bassiana and Metarhizium and Isoplea are used to control the insect pests since long. Coelomyces and aquatic fungus attacks mosquito larvae and kill them. Thus, by attacking and killing the harmful insects, the fungi indirectly play a very important role in the betterment of economy and also in controlling the dreadful disease like the malaria. Harmful aspects of fungi, they are playing their role as a pathogen. For example, they are causing disease in the plants. The fungi are destructive to agriculture and are responsible for damage worth millions of the rupees to crops by causing plant diseases. The majority of the plant diseases are caused by the parasitic fungi. Most common fungi diseases are rust and smut of cereals, mildews of fruits, rots, red rot of sugarcane, welts of cotton, damping of potato blight, agate of rye, etc. Fungal diseases may lead to the catastrophe if go unchecked. For example, Phytophthora infestans caused a disastrous effect on the potato crop in Ireland during 1845 to 49, causing a famine. About 1 million persons died of this disease. In animals are also caused by the fungi Trichophyton and Microsporum species have been reported to cause ringworm in the dogs and horses and mycotic abortions in cattle. Similarly, Aspergillus fumigatus cause bovine abortions in many animals including ducks, chickens and other birds. Diseases in humans. The fungi also cause infection in almost all the body parts of the human being. However, the fungal infection involves skin, rhizopus and mucus species are common fungal pathogens that cause infections in lungs, brains and gastric tissues, nervous and lymphatic systems, and aspergillosis, whose symptoms closely resemble to those of the tuberculosis, is caused by the Aspergillus species. Most of the fungi are skin infestants. These include Trichophyton and Candida species. अगर इसका role देखें, spoiling food and stored grains, then the food articles, if not properly stored, are attacked and spoiled by the fungi. The common food spoilage fungi are the Aspergillus, Rhizopus, Mucor, and Penicillium. Some Deuteromarocetes contaminate stored grains like the wheat and the maize. Similarly, they also produce the toxins. Some bacteriomycetes like Amanita phallides, which is known as death cap, Amanita verna, that is called destroying angel, and they are the poisonous. These fungi produce toxins that destroy the plasma membrane of the liver cell, cause lesions in the stomach and intestine cells, and affect kidney and liver. Aspergillus flavus produces a carcinogenic toxin, aflatoxin, which is known as the to induce the cancer in poultry and humans, especially that of the liver. Then production of hallucinogenic drugs. Some some of the agaricales like the psilocybe mexicans, Amanita muscaria, have the psilogenic properties, and these are the uh, um, in psilocybe mexicana. This property is due to the presence of the two compounds, the psilocybin and psilocin, that resemble to the lysergic acid from which the famous psychotic drug LSD is derived. Then they are also play an important role in wood rotting. Many fungi act as a wood rotting agents and cause a lot of monetary loss. Two major types of the wood rots are dry rot and wet rot of timber wood used for the construction purpose. The dry rot is caused by the Serpula lacrimens and the wet rot by the Coniophora cerebella. These fungi break down the wood components and reduce its mechanical